Ladies and gentlemen, I want to challenge the way you think about wealth today. Too many people believe that money is the answer to their problems. They say, if I just had more money, my life would change. But the truth is, wealth does not start with money. Wealth begins in the mind. If money alone made people rich, then lottery winners would never go broke. But studies show that within a few years, most lottery winners lose everything and end up worse than before. Why? Because money is not the source of wealth, mentality is. If your mind is poor, your life will reflect that poverty no matter how much money passes through your hands. But if your mind is rich, you can lose everything today and rebuild it tomorrow because the wealth is inside you. God designed you with the ability to produce, to create, and to multiply. But the question is, what are you producing? What are you creating? Your thoughts are the blueprint of your future. The way you think determines the way you live. If you think small, you will live small. If you think like a victim, you will always be at the mercy of circumstances. But when you begin to think differently, when you begin to see yourself the way God sees you, as a creator, a leader, a problem solver, everything around you starts to change. You see, the greatest wealth is not in the bank, it's in your ideas. The wealthiest people in the world are not just those with the biggest bank accounts, but those who have mastered the ability to create and sustain wealth through their minds. Look at any successful business, any invention, any great movement in history. It all started with an idea. Someone had a thought, a vision, a new way of doing things, and they turned it into reality. The difference between a wealthy person and a struggling person is not luck, it is mindset. One sees problems as obstacles, the other sees them as opportunities. One waits for wealth to come, the other creates it. Some of you are praying for financial breakthrough, but let me tell you something. God has already given you everything you need. He has placed ideas inside you, talents inside you, and opportunities around you. But until your mind shifts, you will continue to overlook them. The problem is never that God hasn't blessed you. The problem is that you haven't recognized the blessing in your own hands. Do you know why so many people struggle financially? It's not because they are not hardworking. Some of the hardest working people in the world are the poorest. It is because they have been conditioned to trade time for money instead of trading ideas for value. They have been taught to work for someone else's vision instead of developing their own. But today, I want to tell you, there is something inside of you that the world needs. You don't have to chase money. Money will chase you when you start solving problems. Wealth is attracted to value, and value is produced in the mind. When you refine your thinking, when you educate yourself, when you develop your skills, you increase your value, and the marketplace rewards value. That's why two people can work the same number of hours, but one earns 10 times more than the other. It's not about time, it's about value. The moment you increase your value, you increase your income. But it all starts in your mind. As long as you see yourself as average, you will live an average life. As long as you think you are not good enough, you will settle for less than what you were created for. But the moment you shift your mindset, the moment you start seeing yourself as God sees you, capable, gifted, full of potential, that is the moment your life begins to change. Your millionaire phase is not a destination you arrive at one day. It is a transformation that begins in your thinking. You must start seeing yourself differently, speaking differently, and acting differently. Stop saying, I can't afford it, and start asking, how can I create it? Stop waiting for opportunities and start building them. Stop blaming your past, your background, or your circumstances, and take responsibility for your future. Because the truth is, no one is coming to make you rich. No one is coming to change your life for you, but you have everything you need to change it yourself. Your mind is your greatest asset, your ideas are your greatest currency, and your ability to produce value is the key to unlocking your wealth. So my question to you today is, what are you doing with your mind? Are you feeding it with wisdom, or are you allowing it to be filled with distractions? Are you developing your potential, or are you wasting your time? Because what you think today will determine where you are tomorrow. Your millionaire phase is not something you step into by accident. It is something you create by design. And the design begins in your mind. Change your mind and you will change your life. Now go and become everything you were created to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen carefully today because this could be the most important truth you will ever hear about wealth. Too many people have been waiting for money to show up in their lives, praying for financial breakthroughs and hoping for a miracle to drop from the sky. But let me tell you something. God does not give money. He gives ideas, He gives wisdom, He gives gifts, and when you maximize those, wealth follows. Some of you have been asking God for financial blessings. But the real question is, what are you doing with what He has already placed inside of you? Wealth is not something you receive, it is something you produce. Money is not the root of riches. Your ability to create solutions is. Every wealthy person you see today is simply someone who discovered and developed the gift that God placed inside of them. They took an idea, refined it, and turned it into value. The problem is, many people have been conditioned to chase money instead of chasing purpose. But money is not the goal. Money is a result. When you become valuable, money will find you. When you discover and develop your gift, money will come to you because money is simply a reward for solving problems. The greater the problem you solve, the greater the reward. Look around you, everything you use daily, your phone, your car, your clothing, even the chair you are sitting on, was once an idea in someone's mind. Someone saw a need, created a solution, and turned it into wealth. That means wealth is not outside of you, it is within you, waiting to be unlocked. The issue is not that you lack money. The issue is that you have not yet fully tapped into the gift that God has given you. Most people spend their lives working for someone else's vision while neglecting their own. They trade their time for a paycheck instead of developing the ideas that could create generational wealth. But let me ask you, what are you doing with your gifts? What are you doing with the ideas that come to you? Do you write them down? Do you develop them, or do you dismiss them as impossible? Because the truth is, your next financial breakthrough is not in a job. It is in your ability to recognize and act on the ideas that God has already given you. The difference between wealthy people and struggling people is not intelligence, luck, or background. It is the ability to recognize opportunities. Some of you have been given million-dollar ideas, but because they came as small thoughts, you ignored them. You said, I don't have the money to start. But let me tell you, you don't need money to start. You need vision, you need faith, you need the courage to take the first step. Because provision always follows vision. Think about this. When God created the world, He didn't start with money. He started with a vision. He started with a vision. He spoke what He wanted to see, and it came into existence. That same creative power is in you. You were made in His image, which means you were designed to create. But instead of creating, many people complain. Instead of producing, they procrastinate. Instead of stepping out in faith, they make excuses. But today I came to tell you there is something inside of you that the world needs. There is a business, a book, an invention, a solution inside of you that could change not only your life, but the lives of countless others. But you must believe it. You must act on it. Because the wealth you are waiting for is not coming from the outside. It is waiting to be unlocked from within. Stop saying, I don't have enough money, and start asking, what can I create with what I have? Stop saying, I don't have enough connections, and start asking, how can I make myself so valuable that people seek me out? Stop waiting for someone to give you an opportunity and start building your own. Because the truth is, the greatest opportunities are created, not given. If you want to step into your millionaire phase, you must shift your mindset from waiting for money to creating value. You must stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an investor in your own gifts. You must train your mind to see opportunities where others see obstacles, because the people who become wealthy are not those who had the most resources. They are those who knew how to use what they had. I came to tell you today, you are carrying something powerful inside of you. The ideas, the skills, the talents you have been given are not random. They are the key to your financial breakthrough. But you must stop burying them. You must stop doubting them. You must stop waiting for the perfect moment and start where you are with what you have. Because God has already given you everything you need to prosper. The question is, will you use it? Will you develop it? Will you have the courage to act on it? Because money does not create wealth. Ideas do. And the moment you start maximizing the gifts inside of you, you will realize that your millionaire phase was never something you had to chase. It was something waiting for you to step into all along. Now, go and become everything you were created to be. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me carefully. Poverty is not the absence of money. It is the absence of vision. Too many people believe that financial struggle is caused by a lack of resources. But the truth is, wealth is not something outside of you. It is something within you. It is not what you lack in your hands that limits you. It is what you lack in your mind. Every wealthy person you see today was once just an ordinary individual, but what set them apart was not luck or background. It was vision. They saw something others did not see. They believed in a future that others ignored. They refused to accept their current condition as their permanent reality. Because vision is the foundation of wealth. If you cannot see beyond where you are, you will never move beyond where you are. Some people are born into poverty and never escape it, not because they lack the ability, but because they have accepted it as normal. They have been conditioned to believe that struggle is their destiny, that scarcity is their portion. But that is a lie. You were not created to live in lack. You were designed by God with the ability to create, to build, and to prosper. But your life will always reflect the picture in your mind. If you see yourself as broke, as struggling, as just getting by, then that is exactly what your life will become. But if you start to see yourself as a creator, a problem solver, a person of value, then wealth will begin to follow you. Look at every major breakthrough in history. Look at the great businesses, the great leaders, the great innovators. Before there was money, before there were resources, there was vision. Vision sees what is possible even when the present situation looks impossible. Vision refuses to be trapped by circumstances. Vision looks beyond problems and finds solutions. And when a person has vision, they are unstoppable. Some of you have been waiting for money before you start your dream. But let me tell you, money does not create vision. Vision creates money. You don't need capital to start. You need clarity. Clarity, you need a clear picture of where you are going, because when your vision is strong enough, the resources will follow. The problem is never that people lack opportunities. The problem is that they lack sight. They walk past ideas every day. They ignore solutions that are right in front of them, because they are too focused on what they don't have instead of what they do have. Let me ask you a question. What do you see when you look at your future? Do you see yourself struggling year after year, just barely making it? Or do you see yourself thriving, succeeding, and stepping into your millionaire phase? Because however you see yourself, that is exactly what you will become. If you have no vision for your future, you will always remain stuck in your present. If you cannot see yourself living in abundance, you will never step into it. Most people spend their lives reacting instead of creating. They let life happen to them instead of making life happen. They wait for circumstances to improve instead of improving themselves. They keep looking for the perfect opportunity instead of realizing that opportunities are created, not found. And because they lack vision, they repeat the same cycle year after year, generation after generation. But today, I came to challenge you, to shake you out of that small way of thinking. You were not meant to live paycheck to paycheck. You were not meant to struggle, to settle, to just survive. There is something greater inside of you. There is a vision that you must pursue, a purpose that you must fulfill. But it starts with what you see. Stop waiting for someone to rescue you. Stop making excuses about what you don't have. Stop focusing on your limitations and stop focusing on your potential, because the only thing standing between you and the wealth you desire is your ability to see it before it happens. Everything you need to create the future you want is already inside of you. The gifts, the talents, the ideas, God has placed them in you, but you must activate them. You must train your mind to see beyond where you are, because when you expand your vision, you expand your life. So I ask you again, what do you see? Because your millionaire phase will not come because you wished for it. It will come when you see it so clearly that nothing can stop you from pursuing it. Change what you see, and you will change what you experience. Now go and become everything you were created to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something powerful today. Wealth is not a mystery. It is not reserved for a select few. It is not a matter of luck or chance. Wealth is a reward for solving problems. Every successful person you admire, every millionaire, every billionaire has one thing in common. They identified a problem, created a solution, and the world rewarded them for it. Too many people spend their lives running away from problems instead of seeing them as opportunities. They complain about what's wrong, they talk about what's missing, but they never stop to ask, how can I solve this? But listen carefully. Problems are the birthplace of wealth. Every great invention, every thriving business, every breakthrough idea was born out of the need to fix something. Someone saw a gap, a need, an inefficiency, and instead of ignoring it, they found a way to solve it. And when you solve a problem, you become valuable. The reason most people struggle financially is not because they are not hardworking. It is because they have not yet identified the problem they were born to solve. They spend years working for someone else's vision while ignoring their own. They chase after money instead of focusing on value. But let me tell you, money is attracted to solutions. If you want more wealth, increase your ability to solve problems. If you want to enter your millionaire phase, stop looking for money and start looking for problems that need answers. Look around you. Problems are everywhere. People are looking for faster solutions, better services, improved products. Every frustration, every complaint, every inefficiency is an opportunity in disguise. The question is, are you paying attention? Are you seeing what others ignore? Are you training your mind to think in solutions instead of excuses? Because the moment you start seeing problems as opportunities, your financial situation will begin to shift. Some of the greatest success stories in history came from simple solutions. Someone saw that people needed a faster way to communicate, and they created the telephone. Someone saw that transportation was slow and unreliable, and they created the automobile. Someone saw that people needed better access to information, and they created the internet. These individuals didn't have special advantages. They just had the ability to recognize a need and fill it. And because they solved problems, wealth chased them. You don't need to be a genius to be successful. You don't need a huge amount of money to start. All you need is the ability to recognize a problem and the willingness to create a solution. Because the truth is, you were created to solve problems. God placed inside of you the skills, the gifts, and the creativity to bring solutions to the world. The problem is not that you lack resources. The problem is that you have not yet activated your potential. Most people are waiting for an opportunity instead of realizing that opportunities are created. They think success is about being in the right place at the right time, but success is about positioning yourself as a solution provider. The moment you stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like a creator, your life will change. Because the world does not reward those who simply work hard, it rewards those who bring value. So let me ask you, what problems are you solving? What solutions are you creating? What skills are you developing to make yourself more valuable? Because the size of the problem you solve will determine the size of the reward you receive. If you only solve small problems, you will receive small rewards. But if you develop the ability to solve big problems, wealth will follow you effortlessly. Some of you have been struggling financially not because you are not capable, but because you have not yet positioned yourself as a solution provider. You have been waiting for money instead of making money work for you. You have been waiting for someone to give you a break instead of creating your own. But today I came to tell you, it is time to shift your mindset. It is time to stop running from problems and start embracing them as opportunities. It is time to think bigger, act smarter, and step into your millionaire phase. The future belongs to those who see problems as opportunities. The future belongs to those who think differently, who see what others ignore, and who create solutions where others complain. And that future can be yours if you are willing to train your mind, sharpen your skills, and take action. Stop waiting for wealth to come to you. Start creating value, and wealth will chase you. Because money is simply a reward for solving problems. And the greater the problem you solve, the greater the reward you will receive. Now go and become everything you were created to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something today. Wealth is not in money. Wealth is in wisdom, it is in knowledge, it is in understanding. Because no matter how much money you receive, if you do not have the wisdom to manage it, multiply it, and sustain it, it will disappear. Money without wisdom is temporary, but financial intelligence will secure wealth for generations. Look at those who win the lottery. One moment they have millions, and within a few years they are broke again. Why? Because they received money without receiving the mindset to manage it. They had the resources, but they lacked the understanding. And what you do not understand, you will always lose. That is why financial intelligence is more important than money itself. Because if you have wisdom, even if you lose everything, you can rebuild. But if you lack wisdom, no amount of money can keep you wealthy. Too many people are praying for financial breakthroughs when what they really need is a wisdom breakthrough. They are asking for more money, but they do not have a strategy to use what they already have. They spend everything they earn, they invest in things they do not understand, and they make financial decisions based on emotions instead of knowledge. But listen carefully. Wealth is not an accident. It is the result of discipline, education, and the ability to make wise financial decisions. If you want to enter your millionaire phase, you must increase your financial intelligence. You must study how money works. You must understand the principles of investment, saving, and multiplication. You must learn to make money work for you instead of working for money all your life. Because true wealth is not about how much you make, it is about how much you keep and how well you grow it. The problem with many people is not that they don't earn enough, it is that they don't manage what they earn. They spend on things they don't need, they fail to save, they never invest, and they live paycheck to paycheck even when their income increases. But listen, if you cannot manage a little, you will never manage a lot. Because money does not change your habits, it only magnifies them. If you are reckless with a small income, you will be reckless with a large income. If you do not plan your spending now, more money will not fix your problems, it will only increase them. That is why financial intelligence is key. You must train yourself to think differently about money. You must learn to delay gratification, to separate wants from needs, to develop a plan for your financial future. Because the rich do not spend their money first, they invest first, then spend what remains. But the poor spend first and try to invest what is left, which is usually nothing. This is why many never break out of the cycle of financial struggle. They do not lack money, they lack financial strategy. Wealth is built through wisdom, and wisdom is gained through learning. Read books on finance, study the habits of successful people, understand how to grow money, not just earn it. Because money flows in the direction of understanding. If you want to attract wealth, increase your knowledge. If you want to sustain wealth, develop financial discipline. Some of you are sitting on financial opportunities right now, but because you do not understand money, you do not see them. You are wasting resources, ignoring investments, and delaying decisions that could change your financial future. But today I challenge you, become a student of wealth. Do not just work for money. Learn how to make money work for you. Do not just seek income. Seek wisdom. Because a wealthy mind will always produce a wealthy life. Your millionaire phase is not just about getting rich. It is about gaining the wisdom to sustain and grow wealth. If you increase your financial intelligence, no economic crisis, no job loss, no setback can destroy you. Because when you have wisdom, you will always find a way to rebuild. So I ask you, are you just working for money? Or are you learning how to create wealth? Are you just earning, or are you managing wisely? Because your financial future is not determined by how much you make, it is determined by how much you know. And the moment you choose wisdom over waste, your financial breakthrough will begin. Now, go and become everything you were created to be. Listen carefully. Your environment is shaping your financial future more than you realize. The people you spend time with, the conversations you engage in, the places you expose yourself to. These are either pushing you toward wealth or keeping you trapped in struggle. Because success is not only about what you do, but also about who you surround yourself with. Too many people are trying to reach their millionaire phase while staying connected to a mindset of poverty. They dream of financial freedom, but they spend their time with people who complain about money, who see obstacles instead of opportunities, who blame circumstances instead of taking responsibility. But let me tell you this, if you surround yourself with small thinking, you will never live a big life. If the people around you see lack, struggle, and limitation, that mindset will eventually affect you. Look at every successful person. None of them achieved wealth by keeping the same environment that kept them broke. They had to change their circle, upgrade their conversations, and expose themselves to new levels of thinking. Because wealth is not just about money, it is about mindset. And if your environment is filled with people who don't believe in growth, in investment, in financial discipline, then no matter how hard you try, you will always feel limited. Some of you have big dreams, but the people around you do not understand them. You have ideas, but your environment is filled with doubters, complainers, and people who don't see the future the way you do. And instead of pushing you forward, they keep pulling you back. They tell you to be realistic, to settle, to stop aiming so high. But listen, your future is too important to be influenced by small thinking. You cannot afford to let your vision be destroyed by an environment that does not support it. You need to surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow. People who talk about investments, opportunities, strategies. People who are not intimidated by success, but are constantly seeking ways to expand. Because your environment is either stretching your mind or shrinking it. It is either fueling your ambition or suffocating it. If you want to enter your millionaire phase, you must intentionally create an environment that supports that vision. One of the most powerful things you can do is expose yourself to success. Go to places that inspire you. Read books written by wealthy minds. Listen to conversations that expand your thinking. Travel to areas where prosperity is normal so that your mind can start adjusting to that level of life. Because if you never see success, you will struggle to believe that it is possible for you. Exposure creates expectation, and expectation fuels achievement. Some people say, I can't afford to be in certain environments, but let me tell you, what you cannot afford is to stay in the wrong environment. The cost of staying around small thinking is greater than the cost of upgrading your circle. Because poverty is contagious. Small thinking is contagious. Fear is contagious. And if you do not intentionally break free from those influences, they will keep you bound. Some of you need to make bold decisions. You need to limit your time with people who constantly speak failure. You need to disconnect from environments that keep you average. It doesn't mean you don't love people. It means you love your future enough to protect it. Because your destiny is too great to be suffocated by the wrong atmosphere. Understand this. Wealthy people think differently. And if you want to create wealth, you must learn to think like them. You must develop the discipline to guard your mind, to filter what you allow into your space. Because what you consistently hear, you will eventually believe. And what you believe, you will become. So I ask you today, who is influencing your mindset? Who is shaping your thoughts about wealth, success, and growth? Are you in an environment that challenges you to rise higher, or are you stuck in a place that keeps you limited? Because if you want to reach your millionaire phase, you must surround yourself with people, places, and conversations that elevate your thinking. Do not let a small environment keep you from a big future. Expand your circle, upgrade your mindset, and step into the environment that matches the destiny you were created for. Because when you change your environment, you will change your life. Now, go and become everything you were created to be. Listen to me carefully. Wealth is not built by chance. It is built through discipline, consistency, and unwavering commitment. Too many people desire financial success, but they lack the discipline to follow through on the actions that lead to it. They get excited about ideas, but never execute them. They start strong, but give up when it gets difficult. But let me tell you, success does not respond to wishful thinking. It responds to discipline. Every wealthy person you admire did not arrive at success overnight. They built it through habits, through daily actions, through a mindset of persistence. They understood that financial freedom is not a one-time event. It is the result of consistent effort over time, because discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. If you lack discipline, you will always struggle, no matter how many opportunities come your way. But if you develop the ability to stay focused, to remain consistent, to commit to the process, then success becomes inevitable. The problem with many people is that they allow emotions to control their actions. They work hard when they feel motivated, but the moment they get tired, discouraged, or distracted, they stop. They start saving money, but then they spend it carelessly. They begin investing, but when things don't go their way, immediately they quit. They start a business, but when they face challenges, they give up. But listen, wealth is not built on feelings. It is built on discipline. If you only do what is easy, you will always remain where you are. But if you learn to push through difficulty, to stay committed even when it's hard, you will separate yourself from the average and enter into your millionaire phase. Every financially successful person follows principles of discipline. They have a plan for their money. They invest before they spend. They delay gratification. They stay consistent in their strategies, even when the results are not immediate, because they understand that success is not about speed, it is about persistence. They know that wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. That is why they do not waste time chasing quick money, gambling on shortcuts, or looking for overnight riches. They build wealth slowly, steadily, and intentionally. Look at any great investor, entrepreneur, or leader. They all have the discipline to stick to their vision, to stay committed to their goals, and to execute their plans no matter what. They do not allow distractions to derail them. They do not let setbacks break their focus. They understand that consistency is more powerful than intensity. Because anyone can work hard for a short period, but only those who remain disciplined over time will reap the rewards of financial success. Some of you have the talent, the knowledge, the opportunities, but you lack the discipline to follow through. You start things but do not finish them. You set financial goals but do not stick to them. You make plans but never execute them, and that is why you are not seeing results. Because success does not come to those who start, it comes to those who finish. If you want to enter your millionaire phase, you must develop the discipline to keep going, even when the excitement fades, even when it gets difficult, even when results take time. Financial discipline means controlling your spending, managing your investments wisely, staying committed to your long-term vision. It means saying no to temporary pleasures so you can say yes to lasting wealth. It means staying focused on your goals even when distractions come. Because the truth is, financial success is not about luck, it is about habits. If you develop wealthy habits, you will create wealth. If you continue in careless habits, you will remain in financial struggle. This is why many people stay broke. They do not lack opportunities, they lack discipline. They spend money without a plan. They make emotional financial decisions. They fail to commit to long-term strategies. But today I challenge you, make the decision to develop the discipline required for success. Train yourself to follow through. Condition your mind to remain consistent. Commit to the process, no matter how long it takes. Because once you master discipline, success will chase you. Your millionaire phase is not just about making money, it is about becoming the kind of person who can sustain and grow wealth. And that requires discipline. It requires commitment. It requires focus. If you make the decision today to stay disciplined, to remain consistent, to execute your plans no matter what, then nothing can stop you from achieving financial freedom. Now, go and become everything you were created to be. As you stand on the edge of your millionaire phase, understand that wealth is not just about money, it is about mindset, discipline, and strategic action. It is about becoming the kind of person who can attract, manage, and multiply financial success. You now know that financial breakthroughs do not come by chance. They come through wisdom, planning, and an unwavering commitment to growth. You must embrace the process, stay consistent, and surround yourself with an environment that pushes you higher. You must develop the discipline to manage your resources wisely, invest with understanding, and build habits that create long-term wealth. This is not just about achieving financial success. It is about stepping into the fullness of your potential and creating a legacy that outlives you. The journey will not always be easy, but if you remain focused, if you keep learning, if you stay committed, then success is inevitable. Your millionaire phase is not ahead of you. It starts now with the decisions you make today. Go forward with confidence. Walk boldly in your purpose. Take action on the knowledge you have received. Because the future belongs to those who are willing to rise above limitations and step into the greatness they were born for. Good luck on your journey, and may success follow you in every step you take. Thank you